The Web3 Game Awards just went down in Miami, Florida, and I am here to give you my thoughts and opinions on the event and all the winners. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to go from start to finish, basically what won round by round, and just give my thoughts on each game and the nominations, so on and so forth. So the first award that was announced was Best Game Trailer. Now, Best Game Trailer was introduced by CryptoStash. Now, I got to be CryptoStash while I was there. Really cool dude. Doesn't really break out of character at all. He was pretty much just the same guy the whole time. So that's really cool and interesting to know that he really doesn't break that character at all. That little sneaky CryptoStash type of character. But he announced the Best Game Trailer. Now, the winner for Best Game Trailer was Shrapnel. There really is no surprise here. Shrapnel does have the best game trailer out of the nominations that were there. But in my personal opinion, because of how old the trailer is, I think it's a couple years old now. Personally went with the trailer Star Atlas because it's new and it's fresh. Also because I really like the look of the game. The next award that was announced was the Best Action Adventure, and the winner was Big Time. Now, I really don't necessarily agree with this winner. Now, for me personally, if we're talking about, just strictly Best Adventure Game, then yeah, I would have voted for Big Time, and I am a Big Time ambassador, and I do really enjoy the game. Big Time made out like an absolute bandit. I think they won 2 or 3 awards during this event. But for me personally, when we're talking about Best Action Game, for me, it's Superior, and it's not even close. The nominations on this list were Big Time, METALCORE, ILLUVIUM, Superior, and My Pet Hooligan. But to me, when we're talking about action, storyline, adventure, the best by far is Superior, and it doesn't even come close. It keeps you at the edge of your seat while you're gaming the entire time, fighting waves and waves and waves of enemies with a storyline and big bosses to back it. Also, for me, there were other categories in which I think Big Time, was going to win and did win. So more of a little bit of a game diversity there. I would have preferred to see the panel go with Superior, but that's just my opinion. Best Casual Game, the winner, Blanco's Block Party, the game I probably stream the most, that I also have trifles with the most, but it doesn't even come close. The Best Casual Game nominees were Blanco's Block Party, Legends of Venari, Axie Infinity, Town Star, and Sunflower Land. It does not even come close. Blanco's is the most complete casual game out of all of these, and it is the one that, besides probably Axie, that has the biggest player base. Best esports game, obviously Eve.io. I mean, the other ones were Spider Tanks, Thetan Arena, Axie Infinity, and Gods Unchained. I do have a bone to pick about the last two. I really don't understand why Axie Infinity and Gods Unchained were in Best Esports. I would have liked to see a game like STG Football be in there now with the creation of the STG Football League, it becoming a real esports type of game. And it is also super competitive. But obviously, Eve.io was going to win. They have done a bunch of esports events this past year. Well-deserved. I really like the game. So yeah, kudos, Eve.io. The winner for Best Mobile Game was Guild of Guardians. Now, I really don't have a ton to say about this because I don't really play mobile games at all, but I have heard about Guild of Guardians before. Congratulations to Guild of Guardians. I know that you guys have a great group, a great community. So congratulations on your win. Well-deserved. Best RPG was announced next. Now, Big Time does in fact come away with the victory again. However, in my opinion, on top of all these games that were announced, so the nominees for Best RPG Game were Big Time, ILLUVIUM, Phantom Galaxies, the BEACONGG, Aurora. Now, personally, my opinion was with Phantom Galaxies. I think even with their story mode, that it is the most complete game on the list right now. Big Time, it is a great, the playing as a time warrior or different types of roles like that, but there's no real lore or story to back it, but lore and story is coming to Big Time within the next month. But if you want to talk about best role-playing game, in my opinion, it's Phantom Galaxies. They have an entire storyline playing as a role as a space cadet and moving around space-time and figuring out who murdered your long-lost brother. So, in my opinion, Phantom Galaxies probably should have taken the cake there, but congrats to Big Time again with their second win of the night. The award that was announced after that was the Best Game Lore. Now, ILLUVIUM obviously takes this one. Some of the nominees, Star Atlas does have their own comic book that they are coming out with that talks a little bit about the lore that's coming to the game. So that would have been really my second choice. ILLUVIUM was absolutely my first choice between the little alluvials and running around, capturing them in their backstories. I think they have the best lore by far. But the other nominees, Shrapnel, Big Time, I mean, I don't really see the need of why Big Time was on there. As of right now, there really is not a ton of lore to the game, but like I said previously in the video, it's coming. Shrapnel to me shouldn't have even been on here. I mean, we've been looking at a trailer for the past couple of years, but we have no gameplay, everything just besides a white paper, so Shrapnel shouldn't have really been on there. My Pet Hooligan has some pretty solid lore, so it was definitely third place for me. And the developers behind My Pet Hooligan definitely have some of the best marketing tactics out of any Web3 project. So in my opinion, it's, you know, ILLUVIUM, Star Atlas, then My Pet Hooligan, but congrats to ILLUVIUM, well deserved. Now my biggest issue with the entire night was best sports game. Now, no, I am not sponsored by STG Football, even though I would love to. However, the winner for best sports game was So Rare. Now, if you're not familiar with what So Rare is, it is pretty much mainstream for traditional people and Web3 people as well. But So Rare is a sports fantasy lineup trading card game. Now, to me, when I think of sports games, I think of Madden, I think of FIFA, I think of NHL, games where you could load up and play as the characters yourselves. So Rare, in my opinion, should have been under best strategy or best trading card game for whatever it was. To me, in my opinion, it's not really a sports game. It's a strategy game with sports card players. So for that reason, I voted for STG Football. STG Football is the most complete sports game on the list. The nominees were STG Football, So Rare, RumbleKongs, NFL Rivals, and Eden Brawl. To me, RumbleKongs, I mean, it's a cool concept, but I know for a fact that there is going to be a game that comes out that is supported by the National Basketball Association Players Association that will give them the rights to be able to use their players in a game. So for me, RumbleKongs really in the long run doesn't really have a shelf life. NFL Rivals is literally in alpha and it costs $100 to even play the game. So for me, NFL Rivals was out from the start. STG Football is free to play on the Epic Store. You don't have to buy any packs or anything, even though they do offer it. So to me, out of all of them on the list, STG Football should have won. So Rare should have been in this strategy category. All right, so best FPS game, the winner is Eve.io. Eve.io had a really good year, so I understand why they won. There were some really good choices on the list. Those choices being Undead Blocks, METALCORE, Dead Drop, and Meta Ops. All those games, really good FPSs, but out of all of them on the list, the most complete ones were Eve.io, Undead Blocks, and METALCORE. Dead Drop and Meta Ops aren't really complete yet. They're still in early alpha, and you need to buy a digital collectible in order to even practice and play the game. So congrats to Eve.io. Definitely well deserved. First, second, and third place for me, Eve.io, Undead Blocks, and METALCORE. Definitely those were the top three, so any one of those were really a good choice. Content Creator of the Year, congrats to Bryson. I actually got to meet Bryson while I was there. He's a really cool dude. He's obviously doing a lot of great things for the space, and he's progressing really well. So shout out to Bryson. There were some other great creators on that list who also could have won, like Spike Reacts and KGJan. Great creators themselves, as well as Crypto Stash. But Bryson definitely deserved it. It was his year. Congratulations. But next year, I'm coming for you. Most Engaged Community. Now, Most Engaged Community, your boy was able to present that award. Got to announce the Most Engaged Community. It was awesome. I felt the liveliness from the lights and the stage. It was really cool. Most Engaged Community was 100% voted on by the community instead of the panel, and Star Atlas takes that one. I didn't really realize how passionate their community was, but after seeing the engagement rates after they won the award and things like that, man, they really do have a passionate fan base, and I personally love Star Atlas. So congrats to Star Atlas. It was a pleasure announcing you guys. Yeah, I can't wait to play your game. Metaverse of the Year, obviously, it doesn't really come close in my opinion. The Sandbox takes it by a country mile. There were some other metaverses in there like Decentraland, World Wide Web 3, and the Other Side meta made by Yuga Labs. In my opinion, the Other Side isn't really ready yet, so there's no reason why they should have even been on the list. World Wide Web 3 is a pixelated game. I reported on it a couple months back, but it's not really my forte. Decentraland is really known for their metaverse gambling, poker, and hangout spaces, but the Sandbox is one of the most complete metaverse projects to this date. But to be on the lookout for next year, you must be on the lookout for Helix Metaverse. I think next year, the Helix Metaverse is going to take it by a long shot. It literally looks like GTA on the blockchain, where you can own your own assets, those being cars, buildings, apartments, guns, everything, etc. I think that is going to take Web3 next year by storm, so definitely be on the lookout for that one. Next up, we had Studio of the Year, and I believe the winner of Studio of the Year was Gala Games, and they host games like Superior, Spider Tanks, and Townstar. It is a fantastic studio. I voted for Gala Games as well. Mythical Games did not get my vote, unfortunately, because I think they're leaving their flagship product, Blankos, in the dust to move on to other projects. So Mythical Games could not get my vote, but Gala Games, with the launching of Superior on Steam, which is a really big deal to try and gather traditional gamers, Gala Games got my vote. Congratulations, Gala Games. Now, another category that the winner that I came to gripes with was the most anticipated game, and that being Shrapnel. Now, I understand the trailer is beautiful and all, and I get it. It really is gorgeous. But we have never seen any gameplay for the game whatsoever. We are only living off of this trailer that was posted a couple years ago. Now, while I am still really excited for Shrapnel, for most anticipated game, in my opinion, it was between ILLUVIUM and Star Atlas. Both of those games have playable, working alphas and betas, and we know what we're going to get from those games. We haven't really seen anything from Shrapnel yet, so in my personal opinion, it was down between ILLUVIUM and Star Atlas. And if you're going to force my hand and make me pick one, most anticipated game, in my opinion, is ILLUVIUM. And finally, we move on to Game of the Year. Now, the nominees for Game of the Year were Big Time, ILLUVIUM, Blanco's Block Party, Undead Blocks, and Eve.io. Now, in my opinion, the two that we could strike off the list right away were Eve.io and Undead Blocks. Undead Blocks is going to be a really good game once they figure out their multiplayer and get us some new maps. Eve.io, I mean, while it is a great game, it's really a sweaty esports type game, which obviously is fantastic. But if you just want to sit down and play a game and vibe out, that's not really the game that you're going to go for. So the top three choices, in my opinion, were Big Time, ILLUVIUM, and Blanco's. We could subtract one more, and that being ILLUVIUM, because it's not a real full playable game yet. It's a private closed beta, which I am blessed to have access to. While it is a beautiful game, my opinion shouldn't really be up for Game of the Year. So with that final two, we have the winner of Game of the Year 2022 Gamers' Choice Awards being Big Time. Congratulations to Big Time. I think out of the both of them, the content that keeps on coming in Big Time and the updates that they are making far outweighs Blanco's and their updates. So in my opinion, Big Time Game of the Year definitely made sense. Well, guys, all in all, the experience that I had at the Web3 Gamers' Choice Awards was fantastic. The venue is awesome. We do have to tip our cap to Icy Gaming for throwing the event and Web3 Gamer. Obviously, I'm a part of Web3 Gamer. I did some work for it in the beginning, but man, Icy worked so hard on putting that product out. Now, it's unfortunate that we couldn't get the live stream going because there was supposed to be a pre-show and a post-show with a bunch of interviews and everything, and we did start late. But listen, things happen, and he worked through adversity, and he really got through that event scot-free, and it was awesome, entertaining, and fun. I also got to meet some really cool people like Bryson Crypto Stats, George Arcade, Crypto Classy, Metamona, Alan from STG Football. All these really cool people that I got to meet, and I look forward to meeting them and seeing them again at NFT NYC if some of them are going, or another Miami crypto event, because I'll be sure to be going to some more of those in the near future. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you guys thought of my thoughts and opinions. If you guys had any different nominations or different winners, let me know in the comments below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.